This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Recent incidents of RNM breaches highlight social inequalities, says Bunting. Opposition Senator Peter Bunting says recent public incidents of breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act have highlighted social inequalities in Jamaica. Mr. Bunting pointed to the treatment of the man who was captured in an expletive-laden video criticizing Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the fines imposed by the court in St. Thomas, and the incident involving former Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green as examples of social injustice. Making his contribution to the State of the Nation debate in the Senate on Friday morning, Mr. Bunting said the incidents have given the impression of a deeply unequal society.
We cannot then expect them to behave as decent, compliant citizens because they have seen their leaders mocking them. I ask you, Mr. President, I ask colleagues, how must over 2,000 persons arrested and charged by the police and eventually fined for breaches of the RNM regulations feel when they observe this double standard?
A St. Thomas Parish judge has been accused of levying excessive fines after some persons were ordered on Wednesday to pay up to $200,000 for breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act. The individuals were charged with failure to wear a mask in public and breaching the curfew order. Floyd Green resigned as Minister of Agriculture on September 15 after a video surfaced showing him and others at a party on a no-movement day. The police have said they are in receipt of the video and will investigate the incident. Two charged with illegal possession of firearm. Two men have been charged in connection with the seizure of a firearm and ammunition during a joint police-military operation in Quarry Hill, St. Catherine on September 15. Charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition are 60-year-old Samuel Richards, a taxi operator, and 22-year-old James Cameron, a laborer. Both are from Spanish Town in the parish. Reports from the Spanish Town police are that about 8:40 p.m., lawmen were alerted to a candlelight session being held in the community and went to make enquiries. On their arrival, two men were seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. The men were accosted and searched. A motor vehicle in the vicinity was also searched. One Astra A70 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 5 9mm rounds was found. The men's court date is being finalized. Hearing delayed for Jamaican implicated in killing mother of 3 and wounding of her son. A Jamaican man who is implicated in the murder of a woman and the attempted murder of her son in Antigua and Barbuda was again remanded into police custody after his committal hearing was delayed on Wednesday. Linsom Boyd, 53, is charged with the murder of Althea Henry, whose 21-year-old son was seriously injured during the June 20 incident. According to a report in the Antiguan Observer, Boyd appeared before a magistrate court on Wednesday for the hearing, but it was adjourned until January 19. A reason for the adjournment was not stated in the report. The committal hearing will determine whether there is enough evidence against the Jamaican for the case to go to a trial before the High Court in that country. Henry's lifeless body was found at her Cashew Hill home in Antigua with multiple wounds on June 20. She was the mother of 3 children. Her son was hospitalized due to injuries he allegedly sustained during a dispute with Boyd at the time. Family says mom died after contracting COVID at hospital. A family in Louidasville, St. Catherine, is mourning the death of their mother, 56-year-old Beryl Jr., who they say contracted COVID-19 while she was a patient at the Spanish Town Hospital, where she was admitted with asthma problems. Junior's eldest daughter, Julian McKay, said her mother developed breathing problems associated with her asthma and was taken to her family doctor, who did a COVID-19 test that returned a negative result. According to McKay, her mother's condition worsened, prompting the doctor on September 6 to suggest that she be taken to a hospital as her oxygen was low. McKay said that her mother was admitted that night and the hospital performed a COVID test that also came back negative. However, the family said that on September 12, they were told by hospital authorities that their mother had passed away from COVID-19 complications the day before. "Our mother was COVID-free when she was admitted. She must have caught it there," said McKay. She also alleged that her mother was in a wheelchair for 4 days and was sharing oxygen with a patient who had COVID-19. Stacy Lynch, another sibling who visited her mother in the hospital, said she was sharing a room with another patient. "It was just crazy. After our mom died, that was when they called us to tell us, oh, your mother died from COVID-19, because we did another test and it came back positive. This is what is puzzling us because we know she was COVID-free when she got there," Lynch said. The youngest of the 4 siblings, Abigail Jr., was adamant that their mother did not contract the virus before going to hospital because all the children tested negative for COVID on August 23. "You see, all of us in this household follow protocols, and our mother was not an outgoing person. Even if she has to go out, she would use private transportation," she said. CEO at the hospital, Jacqueline Ellis, said she has just been made aware of the matter and could not provide a fulsome response. "The matter has just been brought to our attention by you, and we cannot provide a response at this time, but what we can assure is that an investigation will be carried out," Ellis said. The siblings described Junior as a perfect role model who worked very hard to raise them and instilled the proper values in them. They say the grief is devastating, and even with the complications that she had endured for years without hospitalization, they did not expect her to pass so soon. Westmoreland Church hit by COVID deaths. Members of the Glad Tidings Assembly of God in Broughton, Little London, Westmoreland, have had their faith tested by the novel coronavirus, which has claimed the lives of at least 3 members and infected several others. The church's pastor, the Reverend Howard Palmer, said the loss of the members underscores how dangerous COVID-19 can be. Since the start of the pandemic, Jamaica has lost 1,809 persons, with 166 of those deaths occurring in Westmoreland. Palmer said that worship services are held in conformity with the guidelines outlined by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, which includes physical distancing and mask wearing. He also said that COVID-19 briefings were conducted by a registered nurse who is a member of the congregation, and that he has been encouraging persons to get vaccinated. "I even started to get more defensive against the unvaccinated persons because the persons who died from the virus were very dear to me. One female was the church treasurer, and she even preaches on some occasions. Her husband was confirmed to be a devoted organizer inside the church and a community coordinator," Palmer said. Merlin Grant Morris, a member of the church, told the news that after witnessing 3 of her closest friends and fellow church members dying from COVID-19, she is encouraging Jamaicans to get vaccinated. "I am fully vaccinated, and I am encouraging all Jamaicans to get vaccinated because it's not easy for you to lose a loved one with whom you have been very close and has been part of your church family for so many years," Grant Morris said. "My church members are not the only persons I have lost to COVID-19 because I have also lost 4 relatives in the parish to COVID," she added. Andrew Allen, a resident of Little London, said that he is lucky to have survived the dreaded COVID-19. He said he spent most of August in hospital after he contracted the respiratory virus. He too has ties with the Glad Tidings Assembly of God. "Me is not a Christian, but me visit Pastor Palmer Church from time to time, and me is one of the persons who catch COVID-19 in the last batch of people," he said. "Me not tell you that me catch it from the other church members them, but me know say more than a dozen people catch it up a church, but most of them afraid and shame for even talk about it," Allen said. Indicom probes a shooting of 25-year-old mentally ill man after cop's death. The Independent Commission of Investigations has launched a probe into the fatal shooting of a mentally ill man in Linstead Market in St. Catherine on Friday by the police. The deceased has been identified as 25-year-old Alwyn Shakespeare. Indicom was also advised of the fatal wounding of a Jamaica Constabulary Force officer, Detective Constable Paul Gordon, in the township of Linstead. The Commission extends condolences and sympathies to the family, colleagues, and friends of Detective Constable Gordon and Mr. Shakespeare. It is reported that police officers, whilst seeking the person responsible for the attack upon Detective Constable Gordon, encountered Mr. Shakespeare in the Linstead market. During the encounter, it is alleged that Mr. Shakespeare confronted the officers with a machete and was subsequently shot. Both incident scenes were processed jointly by INDECOM and the Major Investigation Division of the GCF. INDECOM's investigation will include gathering of forensic evidence for testing, interviews of law enforcement officers, witness canvassing, and statement collections. The assistance of the public is very important, and persons are therefore reminded to contact the Commission's head office and to share any information that will be useful to this investigation. Government to erect bust of Lee Scratch Perry in Hanover. Culture and Entertainment Minister Olivia Grange has revealed that a bust of dub pioneer Lee Scratch Perry will be erected in Hanover as part of the Jamaica 60th Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Ms. Grange said it is a fitting tribute to one of the parish's greatest sons. She described the musical icon as the Mozart of Jamaican contemporary music, who mastered the fundamentals of his craft, harmony, and instrumentation, and then built on them. In 2012, Scratch Perry was conferred with the Order of Distinction for his contribution to reggae music. Perry died on August 28. He was buried on a private property in Coldwell, Hanover on Thursday. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.